Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 here in Memphis, Tennessee, as we roll into our 14th year on the air. And, we talk fishing a lot, particularly when Ron Wong is in on the second Saturday of each month.
Well, good morning, everybody, and I love to talk fishing.
Love to talk fishing. And
we've talked a lot about it so far today, but golly, I am really excited about our next guest, who is
don't steal my thunder. Don't steal my
fishing
thunder. Yeah, I like
legend.
Well, he's fished ledges before. I know that for a fact. But, hey, and you probably can recognize that laugh in the background. That's our good friend Jerry McKinnis from God's Country over in Little Rock.
Where's that?
Yeah, that's in God's Country, Arkansas. I mean, we can talk.
Yeah, actually, you guys are calling me at my home, which is up here in Cotter, Arkansas.
See there? Yeah, and that's where we like to call. That's even closer to God's Country. But I know
that's right. That's headquarters.
That is that. And Jerry has come out with a wonderful book. You folks know Jerry from ESPN. Is the Fishing Hole. Of course, I know Jerry from my years of growing up in Arkansas and Little Rock area and watching him on TV and know, but he has come up with a book and it's called, and get ready for this, take a big breath. Okay, it's Bass Fishing, Brown Dogs, and Curveballs: The Adventure of Jerry McKinnis. Jerry sent me a copy of this. The book only weighs 3 ounces. I mean, 3 pounds. No,
3 pounds. Yep, it's a keeper. I'm telling you.
I got to tell you, that is a keeper book.
This is a
big
keeper
time.
book, and we're so glad to have Jerry on Outdoors with Larry Ray. He's been on before in our many years when I was the outdoor editor of the Commercial Appeal. Hooked up with Jerry many times. And the book, Jerry, I know that this is a labor of love for you because explain first the title of the book.
Well, I'm glad you asked me that because a lot of people, they wonder about that title. I guess I started this project 2 years ago.
Okay.
Right now, as we're talking, probably about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And when I said, I'm gonna write this book, and the title of it is going to be Bass Fishing, Brown Dogs, and Curveballs. And I think the folks around me didn't think any more about it. I'm sure they thought, well, he'll come to his senses and get a real title of that book before it's all over with.
This is the title.
I never changed it. I never even thought about changing it. The more I had it, the more I liked it. It absolutely tells you what I'm all about.
It does.
And so that's the reason for it.
And bass fishing, we know what Jerry's about there. And, of course, the Brown Dogs has got to be the Dachshunds.
My little Dachshunds, absolutely.
And then the Curveballs has to be with the career and his love of my favorite team also, the St. Louis Cardinals, and growing up in Missouri and actually playing some professional baseball. So it all kind of fits together. But the rest of the thing I really like, it says The Adventure of Jerry McKinnis. It's a little bitty type under there because this life has been an adventure, hasn't it?
It absolutely has, and the baseball part of it, the curveballs part of it, lasted. Counting high school, you're talking about 5 or 6 or 7 years, which doesn't sound very long, but it was a very big part of the steps that I took along the way, and that the book, I've said over and over again, the book has got a lot of fishing in it, but it's not a fishing book.
It's not a fishing book.
And you know what? I didn't think of this, and I didn't get it all in my mind, and then put it down on paper. A lot of this came to me as I was writing it. A lot of it just jumped out in my face about every time I got ready for something, or I shouldn't say I got ready for something. The things that made my life just jumped out at me, and of course baseball was one of them. So it had to be a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, the whole story is about the steps that has got me to where I'm at right here today, and they are mostly around people. Yeah, but some instances, were big parts of it. But I can honestly say that if you take one of the 6 or 8 most important things that I have written about, take any one of them out of there, and I'm a carpenter in St. Louis, trying to figure out how to cut a 2x4 faster. Really,
yeah.
And it just all started falling in place for me, and I didn't know it until it was over. You know it?
Really? Well,
and I think that I think it's a good model for everybody. Maybe other people wouldn't believe that way, but that's okay. A lot of people would, and I have said over and over again that I'm no one special. I am absolutely no different than anybody else, except for the fact that I think I really did have something that had to be done, and by gosh, it was going to be set up for me to do it.
Well,
and so that's God. I forgot what the question was.
Well, that's okay. We're just letting you roll because we're talking to Jerry McKinnis about his book, Bass Fishing, Brown Dogs, and Curveballs. And I have to admit, Jerry, that the read on it, I go back. I mean, he's got the thing about Harry Carey I loved, or Stan the Man I loved, about your mom, Belle. Wow, that just tore me up right there. And then, you're talking about your top bass fishermen, the game-changing moments. All these things are going through. And, folks, I don't know if Jerry meant to do this. This book is 365 pages long. He did not write it in leap year. I mean, this is a page a day here I'm thinking about here. Wow. 365 pages.
I love the pictures,
The
too.
pictures, Jerry, overwhelming.
Outstanding.
Where did
Outstanding.
you, yeah, I mean, where did you collect these over the years?
Oh, yeah, I did, and a lot of them, especially like them old ones of my parents and my mom. One in there, I think, is from like the 20s.
Yeah.
And some of them are awful, but they're so
no, they're not awful.
They're so unique that they're pretty special.
Well, they are special.
And that was, let me tell you, I'm not a book author. I'm not an author. And I take, what do you call it, ledger paper?
Yes.
Just the sheet of white paper with blue lines on it.
Yeah.
And a pencil. That's all I've ever done. I don't write on a computer. I never had a typewriter. I don't.
Oh,
I
my
just
goodness.
write on them, and I wrote all 360 pages on that.
Wow.
Well, you did a magnificent job, I have to tell you.
Well, you had some helpers.
And I also have to tell you, again, I say I am not a writer or anything, but I didn't plan much of that. I just wrote one chapter at a time, and they just kept coming. And they kept coming, and it was easy. I could hardly wait to have a trip that was going to put me in the air for 2 hours because I knew I could sit there on that airplane and write for 2 hours. And
whatever comes to your mind, it looks like it's you. It's so personal. I mean, to me, it's personal. It's not something that somebody wrote for you, or you gave it over to them. Hey, y'all put this together. Here's everything. Right in the middle of some of these things, you change the thought, and it becomes like, hey, we're actually talking to you. It feels like I don't know if that's what you meant to do, but I feel like I'm sitting in the room and you're telling me a story.
I mean, I didn't mean to do that because I don't know how to do that.
Well, you did. You did.
Well, I have to tell you, this book that you wrote, I'm not only doing the radio show right now, but I'm also cruising Facebook.
Yeah, he's on Facebook.
A good friend of ours, a mutual friend, James Overstreet, just put a post out on Facebook talking about bass fishing, brown dogs, and
There
curveballs.
you go.
Is that right?
You know, it's out. Just came out, and James, like he said in his post, I don't usually endorse anything on my Facebook page, but I have to do this.
Well, I think that's Jerry's the legacy there for those of us that have followed his career, and I relate to. I'm 72 and I'm proud of it. You know, I mean, Jerry comes right out front and tells everybody how old he is, and how active he's been, and I think the timeline on this book. I don't know if you had to. Did some things not make it? Is there going to be a part 2 on this?
I don't know. I actually did have a guy tell me that he read it on one weekend.
Yeah.
He said I hardly put it down. I just read it right through. And my biggest question is, when will the sequel come out?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I mean,
I don't know anything more, guys.
Well, I'm trying to think who would play your part in the movie. You know, so
it has to be Clint Eastwood.
Oh, there you go. That's exactly who I thought. Yeah, but I don't know who would play.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Yeah, that's exactly who I thought about. You know,
Oh, shit.
Andy Griffith maybe. I don't know. No, he's gone. No, so but. I mean, the
Hey,
part.
Larry, I have to ask you if you read the little. I had so many little quick 1 or 2 page stories in there that I just, I'd think of them and I'd say, God, I got to put this in there.
Well, hold on.
It's
Hold
not a whole chapter, but I'm putting it in right here.
All right, hold.
But did you happen to read that one where B and Dance was out in the boat and the boat wouldn't start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did read that. I did read that. Can we hold that thought, and we're going to come right back, take a break, and Jerry's going to stay with us. So we don't normally do 2 segments on a person, but I could do the whole show with Jerry here and everything. So let's take a break. Be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Got Jerry McKinnis on with us this morning, and we'll be right back.